Here on this early live stream. Y'all know it's been a while since I've been early live. I may start doing it more depending on how this show goes and if y'all like the stream and share it. I'm your host, Jada Black. I'm your logical leader. And by the way, before I get started, I want to say this. I put up a post on my community tab on my Jada Black channel, and I spoke about how, if you see any accounts that have my name or picture that is claiming to have a cash app or insisting on money, that's not me. I don't beg or ask for anything on here. I may ask you to contribute while I'm live, but that's about it. So if you see me, somebody, account, like, listen, I have a check mark on my account. So if you don't see a check mark by my name, then you should already know it's bullshit. All right. So we're going to get into it. Shout out to everybody that's here, moderators, channel members, patrons. Make sure y'all sign up to the Patreon and the channel members. I know it's like, if you can't do both, you can choose one or the other, but I'm still posting exclusive content on the Patreon. As a matter of fact, this situation with Kanye West and Nore, that is not a YouTube-friendly type conversation. Not with me, because I will go deeper into it than most people. Because I love to talk about the root of the problem instead of the ultimate, aftermath, so to speak. But we're going to speak on it the best way we can on here. We're going to talk about multiple topics today. I got a lot of topics to talk about because I was contemplating doing videos, going live. I got all these topics that's on my desk. I say, why not go live and have a multi-topic video? Because listen, I don't want to spend that much time on N.O.R.E. and Kanye. I did a whole live stream about Kanye, about 5 days ago? So if y'all want to see what I had to say about Kanye West, then you can. But, and make sure y'all like the stream too. Let's get the likes up. I'm here early, damn it. I'm here early. Let's see who's here. Got Darlene, Hello Kitty, Meanest Nice Guy, Sport First, Nate, Ryan, Malik, Michael, Brian, Turner was good, Native Son, Sydney, Todd, is it Todd too? Tahuti, Matthew Sovereign, D-Wiz, Zay, Chris V, Tamisha was good, Shing, the man, Sigma was good. This whole Nore and Kanye West thing has blown up. It really has. And let me get into something else first. I posted on my Instagram and on my Twitter page, right? I posted about how the actor Jason Sudeikis and his wife Olivia Wilde, right? She's an actress as well. This dude, according to reports, placed himself underneath her car, I believe, because she was going to go and see another man. She was going to go see Harry Styles, right? This woman was literally cheating on her husband, who was an actor, right? I'm pretty sure Jason Sudeikis could get another woman, an attractive woman, with Harry Styles. I told y'all, all that dress wearing, all that flamboyant behavior of Harry Styles, it is a way to get your wife and girlfriend. What's good, Edna? Lions Den was good. Mark was good. And this dude put himself underneath Olivia Wilde's car to prevent her from going to see Harry Styles. If you have to do that for a woman that you're in a relationship with, you shouldn't be in a relationship with her. Now, they've separated and she's going on to date Harry Styles, but that just shows you how much of a piece of work Harry Styles is. This man was sleeping with a married man's wife, but will claim to love women and be, this good guy, but he's screwing another man's wife. So much he caught his wife cheating. You know how hard it is to catch a woman cheating? Do you know how hard it is for men to catch their wives or girlfriends cheating? And he was able to catch her cheating, I think, due to his Apple Watch or something like that. I'm telling you, these electronics is getting y'all caught up. This is why the red pill philosophy is very important. And they're trying to stop the growth of the red pill philosophy because they want more of you dumbass men to sacrifice yourself to show how much you love your wife. Listen, you cannot wife up a liberal woman. Olivia Wilde is a liberal woman. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if most liberal women cheat because they have no morals. They are part of the decay of society. Why you would wife up a liberal woman is beyond me. A woman who believes in nothing, that includes God, because you got a lot of these women who claim to love God and claim to be religious, but none of their lifestyle shows anything religious about them except for they go to church. Maybe. The red pill philosophy is extremely important, man. There are men out here who don't understand their worth. There's a lot of men out here who don't understand their worth, man. Understand your worth before you end up with a woman who drives you to basically sacrificing yourself just to keep your woman from sleeping with another man. I don't know, Kaylee. I don't know if she made a video about Jordan Peterson. But she's a liberal woman. And that's why I scratch my head when I see you males wifing up liberal women. There's another female, I think she's an Instagram model. I'm not sure how you pronounce her name. Is her name Kush or Cash Kush or some shit like that? She is an Instagram model, right? She's an Instagram model, OnlyFans model. And she claimed that her boyfriend hit her, right? But there's a video showing her she was an aggressor towards him. And the reason why things got like that was because she went over to this dude's place and, according to reports, did a sexual act on him. The guy, I think his name is Jimmy Smacks or some shit. I think he does OnlyFans as well. And she claimed he beat her up because he kicked her out the house and, she was, trying to break the window, all types of craziness. That's what happens when you think you can wife up a liberal woman. What's good, Steven? Why you males try to wife up liberal women who are twerking and shaking their assets, right? Who have no morals, who vote Democrat? You're going to get what you get. And you try to wake these males up and tell them, man, just because she look good does not mean she's wifeable. These women are always looking to push the envelope. Even famous male actors can't even keep their wives from cheating on them. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? It shows that a society is in complete decay, especially in the West, because we don't have any morals. We're calling people by pronouns. We are starting to believe that a man wearing a dress and a wig is normal. Well, not me. But you can't say that out loud or they're going to cancel you. You got, trans members trying to expose men for sleeping with them when we don't even know if they actually told those men that they were of a certain group. This is why you got to have morals. Don't sleep with anything. A lot of you dudes are sleeping with anything. No deep discipline at all. So I just wanted to say that. Let's get to N.O.R.E. Noriega. I remember N.O.R.E. back in and make sure y'all get the likes up too. Goodness gracious. I remember N.O.R.E. Hold on. I remember N.O.R.E. back in the early 2000s. I remember N.O.R.E. I used to like his music in the early 2000s. It was very catchy, you know. Wouldn't say I was a fan, but I always thought Nore was a cool rapper, you know. And he kind of, you know, shifted out of the mainstream. I would say him. You know, it was him and Capone. They were a duo, right? It was Capone and Noriega, right? But over the last recent couple of years, he's shifted into the podcast lane to where now he has one of the most popular podcasts out right now, which is Drink Champs. Drink Champs is one of the most popular podcasts out there. That is why Kanye West being on there and saying what he said is a big deal. And the thing that I want people to know is I want people to understand that N.O.R.E. did not have to have Kanye West on his show, but he did it anyway. Yeah, definitely get the likes up. Like a lot of people in here peeking, trying to see what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to be as great as I always am. What's up, Random Woman? Shout out there. What's good, Derek? N.O.R.E. decided to have Kanye West on his show. And now N.O.R.E. is explaining, apologizing. He's going on tours. N.O.R.E., come on, man. You knew what you were doing when you put him on there. You should have knew that it was going to blow up like this. Now, maybe you didn't think that you would get the pushback that you're getting, but come on, man. When Kanye West, you know, mentioned the Jews, the way that he did, even though I'm going to say he didn't say anything derogatory towards them. He just mentioned them in a way. Again, I wouldn't be sitting up here talking about the Jews. You know, Jews ain't never done nothing to me. But Kanye West ruffled feathers, not only with that segment, that group, but also with Diddy, who actually is over, basically Revolt is his network. He's the figurehead. It's his network. So Nore should have known. Now, unless Nore got the okay from Diddy, maybe they felt like Kanye wasn't going to say anything about Diddy. I don't know why he would think that. Kanye is like Donald Trump. When you give them a platform, they're going to say whatever they want to say. They're not going to conform. They're not going to, you know, script what they say. They're going to speak the way they want to speak. I find it interesting how Trump spoke out against Kanye West, and that's because I think Trump felt like Kanye West said disrespected Jewish people, which is very interesting. Very interesting. But you have to look at the ties of people's families and associates and their love of Israel. It puts everything in perspective, right? The love of Israel. No, he basically said F Diddy, and basically was it F Diddy and F Meek Mill on his own network. That's what he said about Diddy. And I believe he mentioned Meek Mill sleeping with Rihanna. Ooh. I was very close to making a video about that. But I'm like, why bother? Why bother? I mean, at the time, they both was probably single, so, you know. But, you know, Kanye West is on one. People thought that all of this with Kanye West was about Kim Kardashian. No, it is not. It was about Kim. I think the situation with Kim could have been fixable, but Kim, I think, helped make it worse. But I don't think he's doing this because of Kim Kardashian. I think he's doing this because he genuinely feels like he has to. You know what I'm saying? Now, with N.O.R.E. going on this apology tour, once again, bro, you brought him on your show. And I believe Kanye wasn't going to go on his show unless he was able to say what he wanted to say. And that is true, Manny. You can't blame N.O.R.E. And I'm not pointing fingers and playing the blame game, but I am asking the question, bro, why are you apologizing for something that you okayed? You okayed Kanye West coming on your show, and you okayed this show being put out, knowing what was going to be in it, knowing the heat that Kanye West was already dealing with. Now, honestly, if you really look at the show, what did he really? Okay, the George Floyd situation. Let me get to George Floyd. Now, I'm seeing that George Floyd's family sent they are basically saying I believe they're either suing him or sending him a cease and desist about what he's saying. He's saying what he said about George Floyd. Listen, I don't want to talk about this whole George Floyd thing. George Floyd is no longer here. The only thing about the George Floyd situation that really bothers me is how people are deifying a man who basically was a criminal, people. We can never forget that. This guy was high when he was arrested. Let's be real about this. So you got the family that's upset. And listen, I understand you lost a family member. You don't want somebody like a Kanye West going on these podcasts saying things about people, say about your people, right? But George Floyd has a history. He has a history. We can't ignore that. He robbed a pregnant woman. We cannot overlook that. There are people who want to act like that didn't happen. But but you got these same feminists and these male feminists that will attack a man like a Jordan Peterson or Andrew Tate over their opinions. They've never harmed women that we know of. They try to say Andrew Tate harmed a woman, but apparently that's BS. You got men being canceled because of their opinion, but y'all are deifying George Floyd, who actually robbed a pregnant woman. Daily News says Trump refuses to condemn Ye for his. Well, that was my theory about why he spoke out against Kanye West. Because I'm pretty sure they share the same views on George Floyd. I am not going to deify a man who commits an actual crime against a woman. I just don't, even if what happened to him, right? That was bad. It really is. Kanye West is talking about fentanyl, but we looked at the video. That police officer knee was on that man's neck. It was on that man's neck. We can't unsee that. That happened. That guy was convicted for it. Even though he's trying to appeal it now. But I'm not deifying anybody who has done what George Floyd has done. But Kanye West spoke those things on that same podcast that they reviewed before they put it out publicly. There was even a bust of George Floyd put up in the park. Then the day of the celebration, there was a shooting. That's why I tell y'all, man, black people, we are our own worst enemy. I know y'all don't want to hear this, but we are. We are our own worst enemy. We want to blame everybody. A lot of you weak black people, you will blame white people for everything, but the vicious crimes that I'm seeing black people commit, we're committing it against each other or against others. It's hard to blame this person, these people, these white people, when I see black people do vicious things to each other every day. And the thing about George Floyd is that it's a very taboo topic. It's a very taboo topic. And I understand the family being upset. But, Candace Owens, she put up something where she talked about how when George Floyd lost his life, right, the family did not even go to his place, his home, to go and get his belongings. They just left it there. They just left his belongings in that place. They didn't take anything to keep for sentimental value, none of that. They just kept it there. And Candace Owens put that out because the George Floyd's family is threatening to sue Kanye. Good luck with that. But I feel about Candace Owens. I don't feel anywhere about her. I'm indifferent to Candace Owens. I don't dislike her, and I'm not one of her followers. I like the fact that Candace Owens speaks her mind. I like the fact that she's exposing BLM, but there are things that she says that I do disagree with. Make sure y'all like the stream. We are in here live. Salute to everybody that's here this afternoon. Listen, if y'all keep showing up, liking the stream, and sharing it, I may do more afternoon live streams. I actually prefer afternoon live streams. You know? But back to George Floyd. According to Candace, they didn't even go and pick up his belongings out of the place. They just left it there. And then you got Steven Jackson going in on Kanye West. You know, Steven, I'm checking in Jackson, right? Steven didn't even go and pick up his belongings out that place, man. All these people are just talk. That's all they do is talk. All they do is talk. All these Negroes do is get on here and blame Kanye like he harmed the black people. Kanye West had an opinion, and if you disagree with Kanye West, you disagree with Kanye West. And I think that's what N.O.R.E. initially was going to do. I think initially N.O.R.E. was going to allow him to say whatever it is he was going to say. He wasn't going to censor him because N.O.R.E. is not thin-skinned like the rest of these people. These people sit on these. Shout out to Ramir.
Some folks choose to be voluntarily ignorant and blind themselves to facts. Keep reporting the real J.
Thanks, Ramir. Appreciate that, man. N.O.R.E. was like you said, was going to allow Kanye to say what was on his mind. It's called Drink Champs, people. People go on there and get drunk and just say whatever. That's why it's one of the best podcasts out right now. What's really competing with Drink Champs? I mean, Drink Champs can get literally anybody on their show. And Kanye West mentioned how Drink Champs do good numbers when he's on there. That is why N.O.R.E. wanted him on the show. And Kanye West knew that. Kanye knew he had leverage and that he would be allowed to be on the show. And let me talk about Parler. Kanye West went and bought Parler, right? I don't know how much he bought it for, but he can afford it. Okay. This guy had $140 million in his Chase bank account. I don't know if he's retrieved the money yet, but when he talked about it, he's like, I got $140 million in that account. You know, I got $142 million at that Chase account. You know what I'm saying? They playing games with me, trying to shut it down. It's like just got $142 million over there. You know, it's all, you know, that's one of my 8 accounts that I have hundreds of millions of dollars in. And he went and bought Parler. You know how Trump has, Truth Social where he can't be banned off of it, but it's also his platform. Maybe Kanye West is going to do the same. I had a Parler. I barely have used it since I first got it. I may, go back in and check it out once the sale is going through and once it's his to see if he's going to, have his own. Maybe y'all can go over there too. But it seems like what he's doing is kind of following what Trump is doing. Trump got taken off all these platforms. He went and got his own platform. Shout out to Kareem.
You can't defame people though. George Floyd family has a case. Express Dep v. Heard.
Well, that could be the case, but Kanye could also point to the evidence that George Floyd was, in fact, high the day he was arrested. So he can always put that out there and say, hey, my information wasn't wrong because he was high. Right? And I don't think he's defaming if that was he did. Didn't he have fentanyl in his system? Now we can agree or disagree or whatever about how he died. But like I said, it's going to be an uphill battle to sue him because he went and did this on this podcast. If he never mentions it again, they really don't, because the whole Johnny Depp and Amber Heard situation is different because Johnny Depp reputation went south. This dude lost a lot of money due to what Amber Heard did to him. The family doesn't lose anything by what, except for it damages them psychologically if they're still hurting from George Floyd's death. But in that situation, Johnny Depp lost his career basically because of Amber Heard. That's real defamation. When you lose your livelihood, your career, your reputation is ruined like Johnny Depp was, he had no choice but to go to court. And didn't the George Floyd family say that, didn't they get paid from the police department there? Yeah, he had a lot of fentanyl in the system. Right, so Kanye West isn't wrong. He did have fentanyl in the system. So that's not made up. Like, people saying it's lies. That's not lies, people. It was there. I wonder, do they still have that money that they were paid out? That's interesting. I wonder if they still got that money. I just think this whole situation is a much to do about nothing. To me, N.O.R.E apologizing didn't have to. All N.O.R.E had to do was not air the episode. Or really go ask people. But again, N.O.R.E sees himself as independent. He sees his Drink Champs podcast as independent of Revolt TV, and he found out that it's not. I am 100% against censorship. But unless you're going to have your own platform like Alex Jones have, these are certain things you're going to have to be careful of. If you're basically working for other people, you're going to have to be careful of what you post, or you're going to be on an apology tour, just like Nore is, when he really didn't even have to be on an apology tour. This is a choice, people. Shout out to everybody this year. He said he had a bunch of stuff in his system. He had a bunch of stuff in his system. But I would tell, just like, with Kanye West buying Parler, he's going to have his own social media. He better have his own servers too. The one thing about having your own is you got to have your own servers when it comes to your own platforms.
Family can lost in civil case because ye imply he died from overdose instead of the knee on his neck.
Shout out to Kareem. You said they can lost or they can't lose. Can't lost. What's good, Be Fierce? Well, again, because that stuff was in the system, is the official cause of death the knee on the neck? Because that guy was tweaking before he lost his life. We cannot overlook that. But if you know you have a lot of reach, you got to have your own platform. You got to have your own servers. You got to have creativity. Right. Just he had a lot of that stuff in his system. That's going to contribute heavily to that situation because, it's a very complex, taboo conversation. And the fact that the family's talking about suing, no, you need to move on. Just like the Sandy Hook families. It's like, you're being used against Alex Jones. You're being used to attack Alex Jones. You don't see that? The man that took the lives of your children is no longer here. And you've been talked into believing that Alex Jones is the enemy. This is what the media does. This is what these left-wing radicals do. Yeah, just some Elon owning Twitter, buying Twitter, Ye with Parler, Trump with Truth Social. We need to bring free speech back. We need to bring free speech. I'm sick and tired of this watching what you're saying. It's BS. It's BS. The family got 27 million. The family got 27. Didn't even go and pick up his belongings. But they want to sue Kanye. Move on with your life. Yeah, now they want 250 million. It's crazy. But you have to understand, I heard somebody say this, and I forgot who said this. I heard this, that Kanye West, there could be individuals behind the scenes that are supporting Kanye West and what he's doing. Could be politicians, could be other entertainers. Because let me tell you something right now, entertainers feel trapped. Entertainers feel trapped, especially with social media. They cannot, especially around political season, go without supporting the Democratic Party. If you don't support the Democratic Party and you are a celebrity, they will attack you. Like, how dare you not support us? That's what they're going to do. And a lot of these celebrities feel trapped. So they go out and they say some of the stupidest things you could possibly say in order to show liberals and the mainstream media, hey, listen, I'm supporting you. I'm with you. I hate Trump, when really they don't. A lot of those celebrities were friends with Trump before he ran as president. But they were forced because they were afraid of being attacked by the social media mob. That's why it's very important for, I think, Elon Musk to buy Twitter, because Twitter has the number one tool of the establishment to attack celebrities so they don't get out of line. Now, you got celebrities who will happily join in these mobs. They will happily attack anybody that steps out of line. This whole thing, to me, with N.O.R.E., they're attacking him like he doesn't have a whole bunch of people that, that's a part of that decision-making process. You should allow Kanye West to go in there and speak his mind. But they're like, no, why are you platforming him? He's a billionaire. He's a legendary artist. And the man is obsessed with going viral.
Truth is the new lies and lies the new truth.
Appreciate that, Divine Photos. A lot of these celebrities have to apologize. They don't have to. They do it anyway because they want to continue their careers. It's sad, man. The people that we saw growing up have to bend the knee constantly to the mob. That's why it's important to not allow what's going on in society to change who you are. You got to walk your own path, people. What N.O.R.E. is doing, it could be calculated. It could be a situation. I'm going to bring Kanye West on. If we get too much heat, I'll take the interview down after we done made money off of it. They made a lot of money off their interview. Trust and believe they made a lot of money off their interview. So, what's good, Gerald? If y'all like the stream, I just find this, just crazy. Like, if you knew you were going to apologize, you should have never put that interview up unless you knew it would cause what it did. And you said, well, let's just do it and put it out and see if it goes viral, because you know it's going to go viral. Anything Kanye West right now is going to go viral. But trust me, I know this as a content creator. They've been trying to silence us since 2017. Have y'all noticed that George Floyd's, I haven't noticed it, but have y'all noticed that since George Floyd's death, his family are not speaking about anything police related? Are they trying to defund the police up there? No. They done all that talk has stopped because it's not good for liberal politicians. As a matter of fact, they're giving more money to these police officers, to these police departments to train more ill-prepared cops. Or the entertainment industry is definitely close to collapsing. This is why you seeing more rappers become podcasters. You know, they used to make fun of us as content creators, right? Y'all on YouTube. Y'all make videos to make money. But here you are podcasting trying to be the next DJ Academics. Or the next Hassan Campbell. That's what y'all trying to be. I thought y'all were better. Where's all that money you claim you're making at? Oh, it's going to the labels that y'all signed to on those horrible deals. That's why they go full politics, right? They go full politics, social justice. I'm a Democrat. I support the Democratic Party. A party of failure, right? Look at these Democratic cities. Just destroyed. Just absolutely destroyed, right? Democrat cities is completely destroyed. Yeah, YouTubians. It's crazy, man. But let's move on. I'll move on. I've said all I need to say about this topic, man. But I want to move on to Lil Baby and what he had to say about these BBLers in the BBL community. Now, Lil Baby made some comments. This was actually going to be my topic, right? But I decided against it because I wanted to speak on this N.O.R.E thing because I felt like that's what a lot of people are talking about. And I wanted to speak on. Now, again, I did a live stream about Kanye West about, 5 days ago. If y'all want to go see that, it's on the channel here. But I want to at least speak on N.O.R.E because I think that particular situation is ridiculous. But apparently Lil Baby feels like BBL culture is played out. I have told y'all over and over and over that these BBLs, that a lot of these guys are only with chicks with the BBLs because they trying to sleep with them. These chicks with BBLs are not getting wifed up, okay? There are side chicks, they're jump offs, they're escorts, they're online scrippers, aka OnlyFans models. That is where the road stops for a lot of them. That's the ceiling. And Lil Baby knows this. Lil Baby knows this. Now, they tried to claim now the female on the screen with them, that's Chinese Kitty. She is an Instagram model. She actually has a baby by an NFL player. Can't think of his name right now, but I've done like a couple videos on them. Right? So she's a baby mama to an NFL player. I believe, no, is she a baby mama or did they date? I want to make sure. But she dated an NFL player. Yeah, one of the Diggs brothers. She dated one of the Diggs brothers, the younger one, and has a baby by him. No, they don't have. Do they have a baby together? I'm trying. Let me get my. I try to get all my information right before I screw up something. When people say I done screwed up something. They were together. And now she tried to make it seem like they were together, and it failed. And it's because Lil Baby is very conscientious of women trying to clout chase off of him. All right? As he should. When you're out here and you're a rapper, hold on. You have to be very conscientious of who you're dealing with.
I just pray Kanye is truly right with Jesus because they will eventually make the decision to eliminate him. When their darkness is brought to light, their next option is to get rid of you. Trust me, everyone, please pray for his soul. God bless everyone. Folded hands, dark skin tone, heart, hooray, dark skin tone.
Well, shout out to Avery Wilson with the 100 on the super chat. I appreciate that, bro. Thank you. And God bless you too, bro. And Kanye is a religious man, so I have no doubt that he is walking in that. And you can tell, when you believe in something, you have confidence, and you can tell Kanye believes in God, and he believes in that, spiritually. That's why he's unafraid of the consequences. See, people who don't believe in anything are, they will fall for anything, right? Reggie said, yes, they do. Yeah, Chinese. Okay. So, yeah, Trevon Diggs. She was with Trevon Diggs. Now she tried to make it seem like her and Lil Baby was together. And Lil Baby was like, no, we ain't together. What you mean? It backfired. It backfired tremendously. But I want to get into what Lil Baby had to say about the BBL community. Listen, the BBL community is definitely played out. The BBL community is very played out. And Lil Baby knows this. All these rappers do. They will sleep with these women and then they will dump them for somebody else. That's why they expose people. If you look at most of the chicks that I'm talking about that has exposed these rappers, it's usually these BBL having baby mama heifers. That's who baby mama females, okay? Those are the chicks, right? Because they understand these guys are not gonna wife them up. Like there was a chick that claimed Lil Baby paid her $6,000 to smash. Now they trying to say it was $16,000. She could not wait to run to the internet and say that, because she probably got in her feelings because she got paid to go away, and she didn't like that. She didn't like the fact that she was paid to go away. So she had to go tell the entire world that Lil Baby slept with her. That's her value. Your value is so low that you have to go and tell the world that you slept with Lil Baby. This, according to Vibe, says about Lil Baby is usually a man of very few words. He recently opened up about the prevalence of women going under the knife to alter their figures, deeming BBL's culture as slightly played out. I don't really know if it's going out of style. It's like everybody got it now. The rapper who's 27 said the Experience podcast would host Big Loon on Wednesday. You know how it is. When everybody got something, it kind of go out of style. Then that's why it's kind of played out a little bit. Regular girls, rich girls, broke girls. That's when it's played out. Right, because you got chicks, right, that work at a fast food restaurant. She work at a store or an Amazon plant or warehouse or whatnot. They out here with BBLs. Just some of the most regular heifers are out here with BBLs. It's like, for what? There are women who have natural big butts that they hate the attention that they get. Like, they don't want to draw no attention to themselves. You can always tell women that never got attention like that. You can tell they got BBLs. One, they got real skinny legs. Okay. Two, they trying to show it off. It's just like when women get implants, right? When they get like chest implants, they show it off every chance they get. You know why? Because it ain't real. It's something that they've always wanted just so they can show it off. Right? Like most of these women on Instagram, you can tell those are women who've always had low self-esteem. They've never had a nice body before, and they're not used to getting attention. So the opportunity has presented itself for these heifers to get all types of attention online. They're taking it. During the conversation in a minute, rapper was also asked about his preferred body type for a woman, to which he replied, I like thick girls, but I ain't against skinny girls. I used to didn't like skinny girls. Now skinny girls cool. I like them. BBLs have become a trendy aesthetic over the last decade, with many crediting Nicki Minaj and Kim Kardashian for popularizing the unrealistic, voluptuous look. The enhancing surgical procedure has become a lucrative asset that can also garner someone fame, especially in the hip hop scene. In February, producer Southside, who is also the father of Young Miami's daughter, revealed that he bought 10 BBLs for women over the years. Why is that a flex? Because you bought those 10 BBLs for those women, only for those women to go and be sleeping with a man for free with those BBLs. You basically help her go out there and get some more D. That's basically what BBLs are. BBLs are for women to go and get more D than they've gotten before. That's basically what BBLs do. It ain't getting a ring. The only way a BBL makes them money is if they're escorts or if they're online scrippers. That's about it. I got a list. Shit is crazy. Southside admitted on Real 92.3's The Cruise Show. 10 for sure. I done got 10. I done got some girls' tits did twice. I done got a girl's tits did. Got them big. They was too big for her. Redid them again. Got them smaller. You know what you could have done with that money, bro? Instead of flexing, because this is not a flex, okay? Only in the mind of one of these rappers would it be a flex to go and get a woman's body done when she's obviously going to use that body to sleep with other men for free. Or, maybe that guy is paying, okay? Maybe he paying. But that's not a flex when you talk about that, right? Boosie Badass also shared with Vlad TV that he once bought an ex-fling one titty, then asked her to remove them. I done got asked money for work, though. He said titty work. I bought some titties. Then one of my B's, my new B, we had broke up. She went and got her tits done. I gotta speak in Boosie. And when we got back together, I made her go back and take them out. In January, rapper and professed holistic leader N.O.R.E. Chopper also chimed in on the BBL culture. 19-year-old claimed he has a supplement of herbs that can work as an alternative to going under the knife. He also made claims that the remedy can increase the breast size. I just hope you dudes are not out there buying bodies for women that you're ultimately not going to end up with. But that's the type of culture we have, man. The BBL community is growing. Yeah, you could have put that money into businesses. You could have put that money. You could have put that money anywhere. But you decide to put it in some heifer who's only going to use it to get more D. Basically, to be somebody's side piece. Have we not seen these women's, their assets is dropping? Like they be walking and the ass is going downward while they're walking. I'm pretty sure that you're feeling very heavy when you get up. I know you're feeling very heavy. Look at these women who got BBLs. That the ass is going downward while they're walking. It's going in one direction, they going in another direction. The only thing a BBL is gonna do is get you more D. That's it. And trust me, what's good, Roger? When she gets that BBL, she's probably not gonna really deal with you like that. She's gonna be off to the next guy. It's just like the female, the Instagram model. She went and got her body done. This dude, I think of his name. Shout out to the brother. He was managing her. And next thing you know, she ghosted him. That's all that's going to happen. That's not a flex. Buying BBLs is not a flex. What is wrong with you dudes, man? Yeah, saggy. You know what I'm saying? And listen, all that's going to do is get you more D. Yeah, from rappers and athletes. But what happens when they're no longer checking for you? It's going to happen when you're getting ignored because there's going to be some other heifer that has an even bigger asset than you. And then what you going to do? You going to go back to Dubai? No, well, you are going to go to Dubai, but, are you going to go to Colombia? Are you going to go to the DR? Or are you going to go to Miami? You know what I'm saying? It's like you heifers need to understand that there's more to life than getting D from rappers. There's more to life than that, getting attention on social media. What happens when you still at home alone and the only people you got to call is booty calls? Most of the men in your phone is booty calls. Baby daddies and booty calls. That's the only thing on your phone. Baby daddies and booty calls. That's the only thing on your phone. You should want more than that, because a lot of y'all get on social media and you complain about your dating life when your dating life is bad because you made it bad. You made it bad. So ultimately you have yourself to blame. And I can see where Lil Baby's coming from, because it's like, yeah, that's cool that your assets are big, but you're not going to be my wife. These guys are wifing up regular women because those women don't have an inflated ego. Most of these BBLers have inflated egos, okay? They are obnoxious. They probably got like 4 or 5 kids, all right? They cheat. Trust me, a woman who's willing to get her body cut up, carved up on a surgical table is willing to cheat, bro. She is not about to be faithful, especially if she's a liberal woman. Most of these BBLers are liberal women. You can't trust them. You damn sure better not be wifing them up. So I just hope a lot of you women understand this. The BBL community is growing, but it's a single community too. The BBL community. It's a lot of heifers going nowhere, man. A lot of OnlyFans, a lot of being a side chick. None of them are wives. That's why I say they're a community, because they're not going nowhere. They're not really doing that out here. You know, the only that you know what I mean? Like, why? Ask a woman with a natural big butt, is it a flex to have one? Because a lot of those chicks probably hated their bodies growing up. Now you see more of them online, seem like, because again, attention, you know, getting attention is like drinking water now. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody that's here. Listen, ladies, you don't have to do this. There are plenty of tutorials about getting them assets bigger. And trust me, you want your assets to be looking, you don't want your assets going downward at 25 years old. You know what I'm saying? You don't want your ass dragging at 25. Okay? A lot of these chicks getting these BBLs asses dragging at 25. And they think that looks good on them when they don't understand that actually, that's not good. That is not good at all, right? But salute to everybody that's here, man. Let's see. Where is this? Hold on. Let me see. What else I want to talk about? Related to this right here, a little baby. Let's see. Oh yeah. Speaking of that, let me show y'all Caesar. People are saying that she got a BBL. People are saying that she got a BBL because of how she used to look. Now, she's the singer. Now, she definitely has something done to that nose. That nose. You know, and speaking about BBL community, that nose is not natural, family. And she also never used to have hips. Now she got some hips, right? Now she got some hips on her. Like, where were those, right? Some assets on her. And she says it from cornbread, and ain't that what K. Michelle said? But listen, ladies, you don't have to do this, okay? You should want to get in shape, not eat to just to look thick, because not every guy is into thick women. There are guys who are into petite women. That's why most of the women who you see wifed up, they are mostly petite women, because petite women looks like your classical woman, your classical wife. That's why a lot of these men end up marrying the same type of women, body wise. All right. It is because they fit the mold of what type of women should look like. Let's see. Hold on. Is that it? Yeah, I think that's it. That's it. Let me salute to everybody that's here in the chat. I want to talk about Russell Wilson. You talk about fading fast. You talk about fading fast. Man, we got to talk about Russell Wilson, man. What's going on with Russell, man? Russell Wilson is going through it, right? Now, this according to It's Game 7. This was during the game yesterday, okay? Somebody recorded this. Russell Wilson has not been playing well. Russell Wilson not. Now, this is what Marshawn Lynch had to say. This Marshawn Lynch had to say about Russell Wilson real quick. And I want to talk about how Russell is struggling badly in Denver. This guy got $245 million. And there are people who are not only making fun of this, they are bringing future into it. And they're talking about because he's starting to lose and not play well, that somehow Sierra wants to be with Future again. Listen, no matter how hard Russell Wilson tries, Russell Wilson is that guy that people root for until they don't have to root for him anymore. Right?
Right now, because he on a struggle bus.
Man, I want to reach out to Dog, bro, because
They'll reach out to it.
You know it
His
ain't
manager.
that. You know it ain't. Man, come
His
on,
manager.
nigga. If I can't call you direct, nigga, then I ain't calling you. Especially, nigga, if I done went to war with you.
Right. What they're talking about is apparently Russell Wilson has a manager that handles people calling him, that handles his affairs. Apparently, you have to reach out to a third party, and this according to Richard Sherman. You have to reach out to them in order to get in touch with Russell Wilson. And they're trying to say, Russell Wilson might have gone Hollywood. He might have gone Hollywood on them. There's another post. Is it here? That he might have gone Hollywood on them. And this is another video clip here. Let me show it.
Damn, I know for a fact, like, I don't know. I know it's a lot of Seahawk individuals. Like, man, I don't want to see this dude, you feel me, though, succeed in Seattle. Like, they didn't want to see that. Because it's like,
they're talking about Russell Wilson. Apparently, there were people on the Seattle Seahawks that did not want to see Russell Wilson succeeding. What does that tell you? What does that tell you?
Yeah, I mean, we was a team. Right. And the way that it was portrayed was as if it wasn't. So you feel me, by him, being in that situation, not succeeding there and then leaving Seattle, because I ain't gonna lie, I really thought that Dog was gonna retire a Seahawk. Like, that was the only way.
He couldn't, Sean. He couldn't. He was in the shadow. He was in the shadow. They said it was Sean. They said it was the Legion of Boom. He said he got to do it by himself.
Hey, man, fuck that.
And Richard is like, Russell wanted to leave because he wasn't the man in Seattle. It was everybody else was the reason why they were winning, and it wasn't Russell. They were saying basically Russell Wilson's ego is what made him want to get traded. But everything that we've heard about Russell is that he's a good guy and his teammates like him, and that he's a leader. I want y'all to understand, there were people rooting for him when he was in with the Seahawks to lose. Like, that's crazy. Like, I'm telling you, I think it had a lot to do. There was the Sierra effect. I think that Sierra coming into his life was good, Bronx Eye. I think it changed some things with Russell. I think he became more aloof. I think he cared more about his appearance and his brand. And they weren't feeling it. And you can tell. I don't think that they feel this way because they want to pick on him. I think these guys, I'm not saying I agree with it at all, but they felt like he has rubbed them the wrong way. They feel wronged by Russell Wilson. Well, I won't say Marshawn Lynch do, but maybe a little bit. But it seems like he has rubbed people in that team the wrong way. And it was a situation where, man, we don't want him here.
Damn, I know for a fact, like, I don't know. I know it's a lot of Seahawk individuals. Like, man, I don't want to see, I don't want to see this dude, you feel me, though, succeed in Seattle. Like, they didn't want to see that. Because it's like, you know what I mean? We was a team. Right. And the way that it was portrayed was as if it wasn't. So, you feel me, by him, you know, being in that situation, not succeeding there and then leaving Seattle, because I ain't gonna lie, I really thought that dog was gonna retire a Seahawk. Like, that was the only way.
He couldn't, Sean. He couldn't. He was in the shadow. He was in the shadow. They said it was Sean. They said it was the Legion of Boom. He said he got to do it by himself.
Hey, man, fuck that.
Let's see if there's another clip here. There's another clip here. And this is from Richard Sherman's podcast. Okay, it's another clip here.
It was more so just, you know, them not seeing me get the opportunity to at least try.
Right.
They felt it. They seen how, you feel me? They seen how I move. And it wasn't on no, you know what I mean? I want to be the star of the team. I want to be flashy. I want to blah, blah. Nah, it was just, nigga, come on, let's go to work. We got to do something to win. All right, cool. It's up. It's up. Let's rock. And then them not being able to see me at least get the opportunity to try that, I think that was like why they empathized with me to the point where it's like, damn, bruh, if they would have just gave you that ball, because I mean, you know what, it's 7-8 years later or something like that?
Yeah.
It was more so just.
Yeah, that's, let's see. Okay, this is, it says, Marshawn Lynch discusses with Richard Sherman the pain he felt when Russell Wilson called an audible on the 1-yard line. It was almost as painful as it was yesterday.
I'm like, you know, it's hella long ago. You feel me? Maybe no. It's almost as painful as if that was the play.
Yesterday. Right.
As if that was the last play that you just seen in football.
Right.
Like, no matter what. And then the thing about it is, for what I say, what it did for me in Seattle, but what that shit do for me in any football country, like, no matter where I go, bro, if it's a football fan and they recognize Beast Mode, Marshawn Lynch, the Seahawks, any of that shit, that's what they – hey, I just got one question. Why didn't they give you that ball? Why didn't they let you run that ball?
Imagine if they would have gave it to you, what your love would have been throughout the world. Then you would have been Super Bowl MVP. We'd be sitting up there with your bottle of privilege and having a blast.
Yeah, there's some hurt feelings there. A lot of those guys feel like Russell, you know, they felt like his ego got the worst of him. And again, I think it is the Sierra effect. I do. I think it's the Sierra effect. And a lot of those guys aren't feeling that, man. They really not. And he is down. He's down extremely bad right now. He's down extremely bad right now, man. Hold on, I got another article here. It's from Game 7. It says Russell Wilson called out for troubling behavior by NFL host. All right. Now, this guy here does a show on the NFL Network. He wants
one of the least authentic personalities we have in this league. I think Russell.
Did you hear that? You got the white host of this show saying that Russell Wilson is one of the most least authentic personalities in the NFL. He's basically saying that Russell Wilson is fake. He's saying Russell Wilson is fake. I wonder where they would get that from.
Not a Seahawks thing that they drafted him.
Shout out to Avery Wilson again.
Listen, when Russell came to his first game in Denver in a tuxedo, I already knew it's gonna be a disaster. I'm not here to degrade his wife, but she has totally got his focus off playing great football.
It seems like, well, I appreciate that, Avery. Shout out to Avery. He donated back-to-back 100s on the live stream. Appreciate that, man. Listen, Avery keeps doing that. I have to keep doing these multi-topic live streams. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's the Sierra effect. It's the Sierra effect. That's why I hope that Russell and Sierra works out, because it seems to me that he's more about brand building with her than about making sure that he has the right chemistry with his receivers. I mean, do you actually go out, hang out with your receivers and build chemistry with them? They show up with a tuxedo. Was that like the Monday night game? Because they've been on, how many Monday night games have they had? Good grief. Damn. It took the Caucasian guy to say this. Because, you know, all these other brothers, they be trying to kiss up to Russell Wilson and make excuses for him. Well, I mean, Stephen A. didn't today, but I mean, he's basically saying what a lot of these other people won't say. He's like, listen, I was around Russell Wilson and Sierra, and they're like, no, I don't want to talk to you. It's like, what? So his feelings are hurt. But that doesn't mean he's lying, that he's making up things. This is the attitude. Imagine what Russell Wilson's attitude is in the locker room. What his attitude is on the practice field. Outside of football. Is he the last to show up and the first to leave? It looks like he has no chemistry with his wide receivers. The thing about Tom Brady is a very well-liked guy, not only by teammates, but by opposing players. Tom Brady is very successful, but you don't hear about any type of Hollywood behavior with Tom Brady, him and Giselle. Well, I mean, now that the marriage is falling apart, but you're hearing this about Russell Wilson and Sierra. I wonder what, because I don't think Russell was always that guy. Russell was always a very blue-collar guy. Brady loves football more than his wife. Well, that might be a reason, right? So when you have an independent guy, not independent, but you have a guy who's sort of speaking from his perspective and speaking his mind, I wonder, did this guy get any pushback? Because this was October 7th. I've had this article for almost 2 weeks. And I was thinking about making a video, but I didn't. I didn't make a video on it. But I was going to speak on it now in this particular video. And this guy gives his own account about the attitude of Russell Wilson. I just want to know if his attitude is like that with others in the media and they don't say anything. This guy might be like this a whole lot, even with his own teammates. That's why they look frustrated, because wide receivers are not going to show up their quarterback if they genuinely get along with their quarterback. If your wide receivers don't get along with the quarterback, they're going to show out. You see how they're reacting. Look at how the running back, how he's acting. The wide receivers, look how they're acting. They're confused. They don't know what's going on. Plays are not working right. Right? It's Russell Wilson that people are having problems with, his ego. Look at this article here, family. Look at this article. Yo, look at this article, man. It appears the Seahawks got fleeced in the Broncos Russell Wilson trade. Oh, no, the Seahawks fleeced the Broncos in the Russell Wilson trade. Yes, they did. The Seahawks got a whole bunch of draft picks that they can use on their team next year. The team, I believe the Seahawks may still make the playoffs with Geno Smith. They can draft them a quarterback next year or two quarterbacks next year. And the Broncos are stuck with Russell Wilson and his contract. I think the Broncos did get fleeced. I think the Broncos was the only team that was willing to send those draft picks in order to get Russell Wilson. These other teams said, hell no, I am not sending you all those draft picks for Russell Wilson. That does not happen. Not for no 5'11 quarterback, okay? And the Broncos like, yes, we'll do it, only for this to be the result. Now, things could always change. Things could always change. Well, will they? Not the way that team is acting. The head coach looks lost. The defense keeps them in all their games. If I could say one thing about the Broncos, is that their defense keeps them in a lot of games. The offense is what's losing them games. Yeah, Robert, I don't think he cares either, Robert. He got guaranteed money. Russell Wilson got a lot of guaranteed money. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. When you start getting those big contracts, because remember, he got a huge contract when he was with the Seahawks. He got the big contract. He got Sierra. He has the family, the brand. It's not as important to him as it was when he first, because this guy wasn't a high draft pick. This guy was considered to be a short quarterback. He wasn't the prototypical quarterback. So he had to work his ass off to not only be a starter in Seattle, but to win games, a championship. But he has everything he's ever wanted. Is he still going to be hungry? Not everybody's Tom Brady. Not everybody can have the supermodel wife, the family, and still be hungry for championships. That's what drives Tom Brady to keep coming back. It ain't the money. Tom Brady is always taking less money. He just loves football. Not everybody loves football. Tom Brady has everything a man would want, and he still cares about football. A lot of these guys, they have other cares, and obviously it seemed Russell just cares more about his brand now more so than football. Salute to everybody that's here on this live stream. We're doing multiple topics today. I appreciate everybody that stayed tuned. If you want to see what happened, I'm going to clip the N.O.R.E video, probably on my basic social politics channel. Y'all could check it out. If you want to go and watch what I had to say, it's at the beginning of the video. Like I told you, I wasn't going to do a whole live stream on it. I refuse. Okay? We understand the situation, what it is. People are upset. They're upset at Kanye. They're upset at anybody that gives him a platform. Blah, 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 blah. It's not nothing to lose sleep over. The only thing I lose sleep over is the censorship, which nobody seems to care about. Nobody seems to they care more about what he said about George Floyd than the fact they're trying to censor everybody. They're trying to censor everybody. That's where the problem is. I don't want to be censored, especially as a content creator. That's what makes content. There are so many things I wanted to do, and they start this censorship bullshit. Shout out to
I ain't
Till
mad at
Dog.
Russ for being a businessman. Simps have mouths to feed too.
Listen, you can be a businessman, but if you're a football player, you got to show up. You got to show up, man. They pay you $245 million, give you a whole lot of guaranteed money. You got to show up, or it's going to be very glaring, because that contract is going to be a topic of conversation every week. Every week, that contract is going to be a topic of conversation. And who he's married to, because there were people who were trolling Russell Wilson saying, Sierra needs to leave Russell and get back with Future. These are people that used to support Russell Wilson and Sierra. Now they're talking about how Sierra needs to go back to Future. Why? Because when the going gets tough, y'all want her to go? This woman is twerking anywhere and everywhere she can. I told y'all about these liberal women. You can't domesticate and wife up no liberal woman when she wants to get out there and twerk and get attention from other men. Salute to everybody that's here. Yeah, there are groups of people that you can't piss off. And again, there were so many things that I wanted to do before the whole, you know, shout out
Any
to
QB worth his salt would have made that TD pass.
shout out to Lib J the Great. I think I pronounce it. Is it LLBJ the Great? All right, shout out to you, man. So she's an entertainer. Yeah, but yeah, she entertained your timelines. That's what she entertains. Twerking at random she twerking at random gas stations. She ain't twerking in no studio. She twerking at gas stations. A whole bunch of dudes around now, and she out there twerking with these other females. Yeah, she's definitely an entertainer. But back in late 2016, early to mid 2017, they began the demonetization program to where if you don't adhere to certain guidelines, they're going to demonetize you. That's when that started. I started noticing that back in late 2016, early 2017. There's a lot of things I want to do that I couldn't do that stuff no more on YouTube. And you have to change the titles. You got to change the way thumbnails are. It fucks with your creativity. But when you want to do this, there's certain things that you have to cut back on. So that's what we are now, and it's made content creating frustrating. Over the last couple of years, it's been extremely frustrating because there are certain things and certain levels that you want to go that you can't because of this, you know, the sensitivity of these people. The people who are behind the scenes checking every video and thumbnail to make sure it's, or the robots, but trust me, there are real people checking this stuff. Right, Nelly Mac? There are a lot of good content creators that lost their channels. I saw it. You had insane heifers putting out lists. Channels did go down. A lot of people lost channels. There was a lot of male content creators that they're doing a lot of great work. I mean, they still are, but they lost a lot of their channels. And it had a lot to do with the fact that YouTube wanted to strip away the independence of content creators and put them all into the machine to say, hey, this is what you need to be producing. These are the things we don't want to see, even though we'll change our mind later. We're going to continue to switch the algorithm up. We're going to make sure none of you get comfortable. They switched the algorithm. It used to be they switched the algorithm maybe once a year, maybe twice a year. Now they mess with it every month. So every month you're starting from scratch. And you have to figure out the algorithm. And they do that to prop up these weirdo liberal channels, these, the lamestream media. As soon as you look at the search engine, you see all these worthless media, right? All the creative people are pushed down and destroyed. And a lot of people's creativity has never recovered. There are channels that I have are no longer here. My first live stream channel is no longer here. You understand that there are, and that's why I said, at some point I'll retire. I'm not a lifer in this shit. And I'm not going to continue to have to tailor my content to make the people that are running this thing comfortable. Fuck that. But you can always go to Rumble. I have Rumble channels as well. I know they're basically used to house my content. So if anything were to happen on YouTube, they'd be there. They'd be on Odyssey. But Rumble is becoming a competitor because I'm looking at the numbers on Rumble and there are people who are getting nice numbers. They are. What's good, Ed Niece? YouTube is getting stripped because, one, it is the political season. The election The midterms is next month, people. So yeah, you're gonna see a lot of rampant censorship. You're gonna see a lot of people getting demonetized or even taken down if they're doing political. That's why I say if you want to do political commentary, go to Rumble. You don't have to do it here on YouTube. You know, I wish people would go to the other platforms and not just be stuck on YouTube, because that's what they want. They want you to be comfortable. But the one thing that they have done, I would say a good job of doing, is getting y'all comfortable. They've gotten a lot of y'all comfortable on YouTube to where you're like, well, I don't want to go anywhere else. Somebody in the chat to say, when is Rumble? Hold on, let me see. Let me pull this up. I'm gonna show y'all what Rumble is. Cause see, when y'all get comfortable on these platforms, they know that, and they basically use it against you. They're like, these people won't even use Google, so how can we expect them to go elsewhere? You know, hold on, let me see. Show you here. This is just one of, this is the basic social politics one. These are some of the videos that are archived over there. The basic social politics one. These are the ones that are archived over there already. These are the ones that are archived. Yeah. These basically, you know, let's see. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, hold on. I'm put a link in the chat where that one is. Just archiving stuff over there. Let's go to the landing page real quick. Let's go to the landing page. This is the landing page.